I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. This is our regular council meeting for June the 9th. The invocation and pledge of allegiance will be led by Council Member Ronnie Williams.
Pray with me, please. Father, just thank you for this day and thank you for this opportunity to come and do the town work. Father, we just ask that you bless us, the decision we make tonight. Father, we also ask that you be with our first responders here and abroad. And Father, just look after our citizens in Maiden. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, you have before you tonight's agenda. I'd ask if you add, we're going to add 9C, which is a proclamation for Juneteenth 2025.
I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
I have a motion.
Second.
And a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. That motion is carried unanimous. Okay, we need the approval of the regular meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion the previous minutes be approved as presented.
Have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. That motion is carried unanimous. Number 6, the consent agenda items, which consist of the finance officer's report for the month of May, the fire monthly report, the police monthly report, and the code enforcement monthly report.
I move we approve the consent agenda items as presented.
I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. That motion is carried unanimous. Citizens' requests and comments. If you would, just tell us your name and address.
Sure. I am Wendy Johnson, and I live at 515 West Main Street. I just moved here in December. Had family here, familiar with the area, and I just wanted to come and express my concerns about some of the constant excessive traffic speeding coming in and out of town on West Main Street, especially during like 5 o'clock in the morning and 6 in the afternoon. So it's 25 miles an hour in front of my house coming into town, 35 going out. I work from home, so I'm probably more sensitive to the fact that how fast cars are coming into town and out of town. Well over I get people kind of fluctuate between that 5 mile, but they're flying into town, and that's an incline coming up that hill. So there's no reason why anybody couldn't be at least at 30 by the time they get there. And it's really scary with the dump trucks and tractor trailers flying in and out at those speeds, especially when the high school's right there and the middle school. So I just wanted to come, ask for just some consistent police presence in enforcing those speed limits up and down through there, coming in and out. I love Maiden. It's always been a great town. And also just wanted to say thank you to the police and fire department for all the hard work they already do on a daily basis. So thank you for consideration in addressing that safety concern.
Just before you leave, if
Yes, sir.
I introduce you to our police chief, sitting back there, Tyler Wisnick.
Excellent. Nice to meet you, Tyler.
Maybe you and him can connect and see if he can't help you out there.
Sure. Yeah, just, not every day, just every now and again. Probably. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Allison McKiernan. I am your local librarian here at your Maiden branch of the Catawba County Library System. And it invited me to come, and I just wanted to let you know some of the things that we do. The address is 11 South A Avenue. I don't know if you need that since you needed hers. But please come see me now that you know what it is. And right now we just started our summer learning program last week. We are so grateful to have used the room across the hall on Thursday because we had 60 people for a program. And we also had 60 people for a kickoff at our little branch behind the fire department. So we're just so lucky to have the relationship that we have. So I'm grateful to be here to talk to you today. So for summer, we have tons of great programs coming up. This week coming up, we have a family program about beekeeping. In addition to the things we do all year round, we have copy fax printing services. We are working on getting our library assistant notary certified, so she'll be there to provide that free service to people in town who need it. So that should be at the latest in the fall that we'll be able to provide that. We will be using the rec center this summer a few times too for some bigger programs. We're having the Green Room's Green Bean Players come the week after this week, and we're just want everyone to know and to just say that we're so grateful to have the relationship with the town that we can offer bigger programs for the whole county, but especially the people of Maiden. So I really appreciate you letting me be here tonight.
Thank you.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
What are your hours?
So we are open Tuesday through Saturday. Tuesday is our late day for people who have to work because I'm the only full-time person at the branch and I have a 20-hour assistant. So Tuesday we're open 12 to 8, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday we're open 9 to 6, and Saturday also for people who work during the week we're there 9 to 2, which is another short day. But we try to have those two caps on the week to, for people who work 9 to 5.
Yep, sounds good, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I will vouch for Allison, she does a great job over there.
So, got brought up to our attention that, a lot of our citizens really weren't up to speed on what the library has to offer. So, Anna has been working with Allison, in conjunction of getting information out. So we hope to, have a more robust plan going forward for that.
Can we put those classes that are gonna be offered in Maiden on our social media site?
We talked about that.
I
Okay.
can leave our summer calendar, multiple or just one, whatever you'd like. I brought, about this much, so.
Okay, I would like one.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep it, because I've got one.
I'm good too.
So this is all 7 of our branches, and this is our schedule of events for June and July as well.
Can I ask you one more question?
Of course.
Do you guys have computer labs there?
We have a very small building, so it's not an enclosed lab. We have 4 public computers.
Okay.
She said she had, what, 60 people? Open? Yes, you have 60 people next door. And, see, I was just talking about the computer lab, you got 4 computers over there. You need more computers, so, the place to put more for her. What about Barry Peter?
I talked to Mr. Williams about this previously. Most days do not. Most times we have either respectful people who take their allotted time and then let someone else use the computer, or that's not even necessary. We have laptops and hotspots that we can also check out to people to use in their homes and Wi-Fi in the building. So most of the time we do make do with our 4 public computers. But if we did want to do computer classes for people, I'd have to borrow laptops to do that, to do a whole class, or we would have to potentially do something like that. But most days we do okay with our work.
I'm speaking for the community, that don't look good for us. As a community, whole, you got all these, starting all these houses and coming in, that don't look good for us. We need to make more room
So you're not funded by Maiden those, you're funded by the county?
County deal.
Yeah.
The 7 branches of the Catawba County library system. But that doesn't mean that they wouldn't listen to you. You are Catawba County citizens.
Thank you.
I'd like to say something. We had one of our council members who has graduated from Wake Forest University. So we want to give her a big round of applause.
I thought she was joking
I
about
told you I was gonna answer.
Thank you, guys.
He's got a dog named Demon too.
My dog is named Deacon, so I'm a little
He's a
obsessed with
demon.
Wake Forest. He is a demon deacon, he is.
You got anything, Kim?
Yeah, I was gonna say that I see we got the parking lots and stuff redone, and that was a nice deal. Another thing, I think the parks, the bathrooms and stuff was up. I don't know if it was the human nature of me by not seeing, but are they just one, were they supposed to be originally just one toilet?
It's a unisex bathroom. And
Okay.
the other side of that is,
Storage.
cleaning storage,
Okay.
stuff for
Okay.
storage. Which is originally, I guess, the plan before I got here, of course, I
Alright,
don't know.
okay.
But just to clarify, all of them are operational, permitted and whatnot. So we just got the basketball courts at the parks redone. They're supposed to come in and stripe those soon.
Okay.
Pickleball court is done. We've got it cordoned off just because we were waiting for it to dry for a little bit until we can get a sidewalk poured there. Hopefully, I've been told, Keaton told me today, I think they're the end of the week or first of next week, they'll do the sidewalk.
So the basketball courts are getting,
They've already been done, we're just waiting on the striping.
yeah, they're gonna get striped. Okay.
So I'm glad you said that about the parking lots. Will they, now that that's done, can we do some work outside of, like, the shrubbery and stuff at Town Hall? Is that what we were
So
waiting on?
if you'll notice, they've done that side over there, they redone, put the rocks out and redone the
Okay.
shrubbery. Next is over on this side.
Okay. And then, second question about that, as I see, actually, I have two questions. I'll start with the first one. So, the dog park, I see there's like shrubs and trees and all that stuff going in, and that's looking good. In that landscaping, are we gonna do something with that hill,
With the what?
the hill?
I don't wanna comment because I'm not certain. I would look at that and I'll let you know.
Yeah, it's horrible.
Okay.
You mean the landscape or just,
The hill itself is, you know, where it goes up,
When they go plant
it's,
trees over there?
you spend all this money
Yeah, one
on,
side, I
Stuff
think.
planting.
and then that,
it drops off?
it's, yeah, doesn't look too good. And then the last thing, I also see it's like the week of shrubs, I guess, because there's shrubs going in at the fire department, which looks amazing, by the way. And I was just wondering, just for people listening, Luke, if you could just kind of tell them where we're at, because a lot of people are like, is it done? Is it done? Are we moving in? There's shrubs going in, so,
So we're getting closer. I still don't have an exact time,
sure.
but they're making their way to the finish line.
You see shrubs going in, that's
Yeah.
pretty good sign.
You think by July 1 or later?
I'll
I can't really
don't
answer
know?
that, to be honest. So, I mean, I'm hopeful that within the
Okay. And I'm not trying to put you on the spot for a
next
day.
little bit, but honestly, I mean, it all depends on how all the cards fall.
Yeah,
But there's people working up there day and night, and late hours into the
yeah,
night.
It looks good.
it looks really good.
I got a question
Back
for
coming
you.
out good.
The red light above the entrance in the perch, what is that red light?
That's just a light. We can change it different colors. It's a white LED light, and there's different
It's
colors.
bright.
Uh-oh, it's gonna be seasonal.
I came by there tonight and seen that red light, and I thought, what in the world was that?
The red light looks good.
Oh, yeah. It's like Max is saying, it's
I got something, over Holly's, you know when you go through here, through the drive-in to pay your water bill? I don't use it, but a lot of people do. Then when you get up to the road to go, or up the driveway, there's a lot of bushes right there. It's very hard to see with
Okay.
traffic.
Okay,
Somebody needs to
Okay.
maybe trim that back a little bit.
all right.
If you're in a truck, you can see, but if you're in a car, you can't see it. And that would be a bad thing, pulling out and having a wreck.
Thank you.
Sorry, I got us hung up on landscaping.
It's time you're for it. It's all good.
I like stuff to look good.
I'm gonna go from landscaping to buildings now.
There you
Go
go.
for it.
Blake, can you give us an update of some of the new things that's going in town?
Sure.
I know, Memories on Main, I saw they've got their sign and all up. I think there's something going in the corner building next to Old Maze.
Salon, I mean,
That's gonna be a salon, and there's a salon next to it as well? Okay, 2 salons.
You just want to give them the rundown of what we got there?
Yeah, there's actually been quite a few in the past couple of months that have come in around downtown. So we've got Main Events, which we did the ribbon cutting for recently. That's down here on the corner. Main Events Floral Design. Athletes Lab just opened their weight room to the public not too long ago. Maiden Wellness Center in George's strip that he's got there on 16 South Main. The first location of Maze, for those that are familiar with the first location, that's where Maiden Wellness Center is going to be, and she's doing like smoothies and that kind of thing. Trulala Studio is next to that. It's also a hair salon. Maiden Grooming is a dog grooming place there on the end of that building. Memories on Main has just recently kind of put up their sign, trying to finish out everything at 28 East Main. Just outside of downtown, Atlascapes Auto is going to be doing car sales down before you get to Ethan Allen, kind of going up the other side of that hill there. And then there's Merriman's event and venue space that's going into Maze location. So got quite a bit going on in downtown Maine.
Tell me about Maiden Wellness.
Mm-hmm.
You said smoothies?
Yeah, they're doing like protein shakes and smoothies over there. Mhm.
Okay, so it's eating stuff.
More drinks of what they've
Okay.
gotten so far. Yeah, I think they've got some foods that they're wanting to get on, but whenever I was in the other day, it was just drinks at this point.
Got it, thank
Like
you.
protein shakes,
Yeah.
proteins.
And O'Reilly's ribbon cutting will be this Saturday at 7:30 in the morning.
That's right.
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Blake.
Are they doing it right before they open, I guess?
Yep.
Yeah,
Nice.
literally.
Really.
And then don't forget Jive after 5. is
And
this
jive
Friday.
after 5 this Friday, if it don't rain.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you, Blake.
That's a lot. That's good.
It is.
Anyone else?
And then also this month is Juneteenth, is this month, and there's a lot of activities going on in Catawba County. You can look on social media that there are different events going on in the county, Hickory, I think Newton, different locations. There's a lot going on every day almost, so the calendar is full for those events. So if you don't have anything to do, just check it out. It's something to do.
And I'll say check it out, because I looked at it at the COG meeting this past month in May, and a lot of towns have gotten really creative this year with what they're doing. Like, I think Catawba's doing a Motown night, and you can
They had it.
dress up
Yeah.
as a Motown artist, and there's all kinds of just like fun stuff. They're just kind of stepping out of the box this year.
Yeah.
And if you want to know a list, you can go get you a Focus magazine,
There you go.
and it's got every town's listed in there, dates, times, and what's going on. So that's pretty much free advertisement, 'cause we were in there. Anyone else? If not, we're gonna move right along to new business. First, we have the pavement committee recommendations.
So, yeah, Brian, let him come up, just, so I was asked this morning about the study prior to this one. We found that at the 11th hour, and I'll try to get that out tomorrow, but there was a study done approximately 10 years ago. Brian was able to find it. Thank you, Brian. You can look at that if you want to in comparison to what we have now. Just food for thought. The list that came back, we had a committee. It wasn't one sole person that looked at it. It was a committee of people. And then I'll let Brian, of course, expand on that.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Come for you tonight. If you remember a couple months ago, Teague Engineering came and did a presentation on street condition study, pavement condition study results for the town of Maiden. At the end of that presentation, I promised that we would take that study and put some local knowledge to it, look at traffic counts, look at ongoing construction project, so forth, and come back to you guys with a paving project recommendation for 2025. Attached in your packet is the top 10 streets. If you look on there, some of the streets were skipped over to elementary construction project. Middle school was getting ready to go through a construction project midsummer here. So as you can see, the total for 6 streets there, and that's an internal cost estimate based off previous paving projects that we have had done in the past, is $343,000, $343,000 and some change there. Currently, we have $141,000 in our current budget for PAL bill. We also have $365,000 in fund balance. Obviously, this project will not be awarded before July the 1st. So the $141,000 that is in this year's budget will be rolled over into fund balance. So when I come back to ask for award of the project, it will be taken out of PAL bill fund balance, and at that time, we should have close to $500,000 in the PAL bill fund balance there. I always discourage depleting the PAL bill funds completely. Never know, knock on wood, when a Helene's gonna come through and you're gonna have to do major culvert repairs, things like that. So.
What's a number that you think we need to keep in there, just like a minimum number?
I like at least keep 100,000 in there.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything over than that, anything over that, should we get a natural disaster, obviously, would be emergency management, FEMA, things like that for reimbursement. So
Okay.
I would say at least 100,000.
Okay.
Basically, all I'm looking for tonight is a head nod from council giving us okay to send this project out for bid. Hopefully bids will be back in time for the August council meeting, and at that time we will award and hopefully have project completion by early to mid-fall.
You said August. Do you think we'd get them back by July or August?
I think August.
Okay, I just caught you there. Yep, good.
I think, with contractors and how busy everybody is right now, it's very difficult to get them to come bid projects sometime. So I think August would be a safe date there to award.
You're gonna bid all 6 of these that have like a estimate, right?
Yes, all 6 of them will go.
What you see in red there.
Yeah.
Yep,
And which is straight off of the list as it came.
yep.
And again, I'll send out the one 10 years ago. I'll try to do that tomorrow.
Is the one that we had previously, I know we had a list similar where they were ranked. But do we have on that same list what was completed?
Yes,
Okay, that's what I would like.
yes.
So
Yes.
what the list was and what was completed.
We
Yes.
highlighted what's been completed since the study was done in 2015,
Okay,
up to this point.
okay. So did you find that one and this one sort of married in?
A little, there's been some changes, due to
Yeah.
average daily traffic count. Some roads get traveled more heavier than others, and some roads deteriorate more faster than others. So, yeah, there was some differences there.
I will tell you that, and I hadn't had a really chance to go through it, but that one that was 10 years ago, there was a lot of those that were done, the top ones. I don't know how many, and I don't want to quote that, but you'll see when I send it to you. There's quite a bit of those that were not.
Yeah, I knew there was a good many done, I just didn't know
Yep.
how far we got on it.
There was a lot done on that 2015 study. There was a lot of curb and gutter put in, a lot of sidewalk repair. things other than paving also.
Good deal.
All you need is the council's blessing.
Where does East Mary Street rank on this list? Because I can't find it anywhere.
East Murray, if it wasn't on the list, it's not, it's graded higher than 40.
That street is graded higher than 40.
Yep, if it's not on the list there, I can get you the exact number and send it to you.
That's all right. I know that's kind of my pet peeve, going up there by the elementary school up there now.
Is
Going
it-
down Cemetery Street. I mean, the curve up there is about 2 inches high. And it's pretty rough, so it's.
Did you say Murray?
Yes.
Murray or
There's-
North Main?
There's
Murray.
West Murray
There's-
Street
there's
that
West
starts
Murray.
at
This is
West
East
School
Murray.
Street to
Yeah.
North C Avenue, would that be it?
Mm-mm.
It's third from the bottom on the
If
list
you,
we have.
if you flip way over to the map,
Yeah,
it's got the red and blue lines in it.
yeah,
West Mary, I think, is on North Main Avenue. It's like a couple hundred yards, or maybe not even that far, a couple hundred feet. And then East Mary goes up and around the
East
curve
Murray. Okay, yeah,
to the Cemetery Street, and
Yeah.
then you turn left to Cemetery Street to go down by the Maiden Elementary.
yeah.
But that.
So you're talking
that's-
about East Murray, not West Murray?
Right, East
Okay.
Mary.
Following you?
That's,
We can look at it and see where it's at.
yeah, to me, that's you know, I'm assuming people, I don't know how traffic goes into the Maiden Elementary now. I don't know if it goes up that way and turns and for pickup, I don't
Comes
know
down
the
the hill
traffic.
from the wreck,
They come down from the
to
wreck.
the wreck, from the top of the hill. And then they'll circle in and go to the entrance way on the, by the cemetery.
Okay. I knew we had talked about it one time and we didn't do anything because of construction, but I assume the construction's over with over there, and that's, well, I know that's the county thing, but I wonder when they're gonna move that,
Yeah.
trailer, construction trailer that's been sitting there.
They've got some of their playground equipment stored in there.
Is that what it is?
Well, they're still grading and moving dirt and doing stuff behind the old school. There's
That's-
dump,
That's totally different, it's-
yeah, but there's dump
yeah.
trucks and stuff up and
Yeah.
down Bob Smire and all around, cause I see them all day long. There's still a lot going on over there.
No, that's just a question, 'cause
I'll get it to you.
Thank you, Brian. Get a blessing from everybody.
Yep,
Okay.
they had
I'm
no,
good.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
all right,
You good?
thank you.
Go for it. Okay, next we have the Department of Insurance inspection.
Of course, you have in front of you there, and I'll let the Fire Chief Luke Schaffner come and just expand on that a little bit. He's very proud of this.
Pound your chest a
And
little
so
bit
he
there.
should be,
What?
Pound your chest a
and
little
so
bit.
he
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah, so, as I stated in the letter that I, submitted in, North Carolina Department of Insurance comes out typically 5 to 7 years and does the inspection, rating inspection. This is what goes for your homeowner's insurance, fire protection, and commercial fire protection insurance. They're rated anywhere from a 1 being the best rating you can get. There's very few ones in the state. We do have some in Catawba County, but it goes off your personnel. That's a big thing, personnel as far as staffing, full-time staffing. In our previous inspection, we were considered a 3.9E. Our municipal limits was a rating of a 3. Before that, I believe it was a 5, if I'm not mistaken, in the one prior to that. But in this latest inspection, we were able to obtain a straight 3 rating, which means our folks that live in our rural fire district have the same rating insurance-wise as those that live within the municipal fire limits. We gained that score by 1, adding the staffing that you folks and past councils have approved us to add, and as well as our response times by having members on staff 24/7 to respond to calls to get there quicker. And then also to Mr. Duckworth and his department for adding hydrants, more hydrants for us throughout the fire district. The 9E comes into play when we're having to haul water. Having to go more towards a tanker operation, we're having to fill up at A and take it 3-4 miles down the road to B to where the fire's at. So we've been very fortunate in Maiden. with our Public Works working for us to get more hydrants throughout our fire district, which in turn is helping homeowners and business owners with their insurance ratings. So, but I'll be happy to try to answer any questions anybody may have.
That's great news.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thanks,
So
Chief.
we'll continue to strive in the next inspection come 2030, 31, 32, whenever that one may be, to hopefully improve our score a little bit more.
Will the building help any?
No,
Darn.
no, not really.
I was like, that's gonna be a huge upgrade. I was
Yeah.
hoping that would count.
Yeah, a little bit does play into it as far as your location, because what they'll do is they take your station and pretty much draw a circle 5 miles around it.
Okay.
But from where we're moving to, we're not taking, only thing we're actually doing, we may help some people on the east end and more water plant area, bring them within. But I believe, everybody out in that area is already within the rated district, so we're good here in Maiden.
Great.
But-
Good job.
And we're helping everybody, at 2:30 in the afternoon during school hours.
Yep.
Yes.
So they look, insurance companies look at the class.
Yes, ma'am.
They look that up themselves, I guess.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
Insurance
we
companies
don't-
never asked me, they've asked me how many miles or what the distance is to my closest fire department.
Yeah.
But, so
Yeah.
they check that, cause
Yeah.
that's never asked.
Yeah,
me.
they'll, a lot of times if somebody's gonna buy a house, they will, not all the time, but sometimes, they will call the fire station and wanna know if there's a fire hydrant within 1,000 feet of a residence. And so we'll have to look the hydrant up, look the address up, and do the comparison to make sure it's within that 1,000 feet. But they don't call us for the rating side of it, but they'll call us for the fire hydrant side.
But they just have somewhere they check that, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know what all they go through for that.
Yeah.
We don't deal
I'm
with
just
all
wondering where
that.
that comes into play for insurance.
Yeah.
You understand where,
But that's where they do these inspections and then they pull the numbers off these inspections to say, hey, this is what Maiden's rating is, or Newton, Hickory, Conover, any of those. But we're fortunate here in Maiden, we keep everybody in a rated fire district. So that's our number one goal.
Thank you, Chief.
Yes, sir.
Great job, thank you.
Okay, next we got 8C, Certificate of Sufficiency for 1815 West Main Road.
Evening, Council. Before you this evening is the next step for our annexation request for 1815 West Maiden Road. If you'll recall, this is the about 45 acre property on West Maiden Road there in the curve, that rolling pasture there, that's been petitioned for annexation. There's several steps in the annexation process. The step before you tonight is us coming back to council saying what has been submitted to us as far as an application and petition meets all the statutory requirements, and that we can move on to the next step of setting a date for the public hearing to determine if it will be brought into town limits.
Remind me what they're wanting to do with that.
They're wanting to turn it, have some industrial buildings
That's
on
right.
that property. Yes, ma'am.
so are you needing a motion? for
We
that?
will need a motion.
All right, I'll make a motion, that we accept Certificate of Sufficiency dash 1815 West Maiden Road.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion is carried unanimous. Ordinances and resolutions. Resolution 8-2025, establishing a public hearing date for voluntary contiguous annexation. The same thing.
Yes,
Same one.
this will be the same one.
I move we accept resolution 8-2025.
Have a motion,
Second?
a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no.
Thank you.
Motion carried unanimous.
Blake, something just came to my mind. Do you have any information on the Dollar General on Startown Road?
Oh, yeah.
I do not.
Okay.
Is it back open or
They-
still closed?
It's still, yeah, it's still closed right now. They had some issues up there and, it's still closed tomorrow.
Okay.
The whole building is completely empty. goods and all.
Yeah, I saw them dumpstering it.
Okay.
All right, B, ordinance 26-2025, fiscal year 2025-2026 budget.
I'll move that we approve ordinance 26-2025.
Have a motion?
Second.
And a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Motion is carried unanimous.
Great job.
Okay, now we have before us the proclamation for Juneteenth, 2025. I ain't gonna read it all tonight, because we're gonna read it all at the Juneteenth, so I'm just gonna kind of highlight. Whereas Juneteenth became known as a celebration of the end of slavery and is the oldest known public celebration of the end of slavery in the United States. Whereas Juneteenth celebrates the success gained through education and greater opportunity and commemorates African American freedom. Whereas celebration of Juneteenth reminds us of the promises of freedom, equality, and opportunity, which are the core of the American dream. Now therefore, I, Max Baumgartner, Mayor of the Town of Maiden, on behalf of the Maiden Town Council, do hereby proclaim June 27th, 2025 as celebration of Juneteenth Day in the Town of Maiden.
I move that we approve proclamation celebration of Juneteenth 2025.
Motion? Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. Motion is carried unanimous.
Move to adjourn.
I have one other thing I need to ask about earlier. And maybe this is something that we need to put on, future agenda, I don't know, but, we had some discussion about, the cost of renting the town hall. And then also, anytime that's rented, which is normally on weekends, we have to provide at least one staff member here, which we're paying to do, which the cost of the rental generally is not covering the cost of the staff. We had talked about, or had some discussion about, that no longer being available, since we do have the rec department and other venues available for rent. I don't know if that's something we need to place on an agenda item, or if there's still any interest in it. And I don't know how often it's happening. I mean, if it's frequently, or,
Why don't you let the staff do some research and get together the number of how much is being used and whatnot, and then compare that to how many, those dates would it be open somewhere else in town if we had a venue, if the rec's open the same date or whatever. We can do some research and put something together and look at it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know that if we're providing, part of me is we're providing a service, but the same thing, we're losing salary dollars for people to cover that during off hours. And I'll assume a lot of times that's time and a half, because they've already worked their week or their day or whatever.
And it is somewhat difficult to get staff to,
I would
to be here
imagine,
on Saturday when they've been here Monday through Friday as well.
On Saturday or Sunday afternoon, I would imagine it would be.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean, I feel like we ask our staff to be here on a lot of extra things, that's important to our town, but people still, have to work, such as parades and events that we have on weekends or other hours. So I feel like they already have a lot of time they have to commit, other than their regular work hours for events that we do. I don't know, I just think it's worth discussing.
I'll put something together.
So the question is, does the price not include paying them per hour?
We have to, town pays it, but the rental fee does not include that, paying the staff member, I don't believe. Am I wrong in saying that?
No, that's correct, right.
Yeah.
It would be worth it to do the comparison to see what did we receive versus what did we pay out. Because it may even be where you, if we keep it open, you're gonna have to increase the rental fee to help offset some of our
Right.
costs.
Yeah.
I can do some research.
And I would imagine, I mean, you have people at all different levels, you know, it's court on who agrees to work at that particular day or whatever, all different levels of pay.
One other off the thing that flashed through my mind too is, I talked to Tracy about marking the road out here. Any results on?
I have not explored that yet, but it's on my list.
Okay. And to brighten everybody up on that is, this is the only intersection at North Main that does not have a divided highway sign on it, line on it. And there's people that's actually coming into the middle of the road and somebody making well, the person who talked to me was in the rain going to go straight, or no, he's gonna turn left. And there's a car pulled up beside him like there was a turn lane and turn left. So I asked Tracy to kind of investigate, maybe putting in a divided highway sign out there.
That'd be a good idea.
Now, motion to dismiss?
Yeah,
Got a
I
motion?
made a motion.
Got a second?
Second.
We dismiss what, bills, I say. I think when you meet about the situation with the rent and these bills, you got to think about that seriously, what you decide to do, because I'm gonna tell you why. If you rent that building, in the building, the young lady, young men, are they hired by the recreation center to do some things on the weekend, or you bring them from their regular job and bring them in to work extra over here? But the rental fee, the town should be paying the rental fee for that building. If anybody rented, the fee for them to rent it should be included to the person that's working. All that should be one bill. So by right, we'll rent it, don't care who rents it. You got to include that into the price that they rent, paying the person for being over there, if they wanna be over there. And see, I know everybody don't wanna work on the weekend, especially when you pull an 8-hour shift and come back. All that falls on the recreation committee. You need to sit down, bills on that committee, and look at these buildings. You got the building up there, you got that back there, you got the red. I mean, a lot of times, you don't know what's going on. You don't know the requirement to rent this stuff. So you need to sit down and look at the requirement when you rent these buildings. What's what and who's coming and everything. Same way with the parks. A lot of them in the front don't understand the way it's supposed to be rented or done. So you got to get together, we have on these committees and make sure they know who to rent to and why and how many and all that.
Yes, ma'am.
If you add that cost for them working, and a lot of times they don't wanna work. So you looking at part-time people, if they wanna work, they're allowed to come in and work. And so you need to include the town and should pay that. You should take the fee from whoever rent, add it to the bill, and take care of everything, the cleaning and all.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see, we had a motion in a second.
Yeah, I'm gonna second it again.
You got a second again? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed say no. We're good.
Good to see everybody.